Hello and happy Disability Pride Month. Welcome to a special edition of Be the Gift Connections, the Heart and Down Syndrome, a webinar hosted by Sierra Donor Services to shed some light on the prevalence of heart conditions in people with Down syndrome. Our goal today is to celebrate that heart valve transplants and tissue transplants in general do save lives. So, just a little background. Half of all infants born with Down syndrome are born with heart conditions, and some even require heart transplants to survive. Today, we will learn more about this heart condition and other conditions that lead to potentially an urgent need for a transplant. We want to hear about the work that Gigi's Playhouse does to provide free, life changing programs for people with Down syndrome. Here is Nicole Harrigan, board president of Gigi's Playhouse Down Syndrome Achievement Center, Sacramento.
Hi, my name is Nicole Harrigan. I am the board president of Gigi's Playhouse Sacramento. We are a Down Syndrome Achievement Center and we provide free, purposeful career, educational, and therapeutic programs for individuals with Down syndrome. We provide programming for all ages, literally prenatal diagnosis through adult. We are able to provide those programs for free because we provide almost all of them via volunteers. The one program that we provide through professionals is our one-to-one speech therapy program, but that is still provided for free for our participants because we raise funds and to cover the costs associated with providing those programs, and then we use volunteers. And we, out of the funds that we raise, we pay for the speech therapists to provide the speech therapy. So again, like I said, we do provide therapeutic, educational, career programs. We believe that cost should never be a barrier to achievement. So the model that Gigi's Playhouse was built on was that we will never charge. We will never charge for these programs for our participants. We don't ever want somebody to not be able to avail themselves of our programming. It's hard enough getting what our family members and loved ones need from the school districts and from our insurance and from the various resources that are out there as it is. Our founder was just determined from the beginning to not make that an issue with Gigi's. So I'll tell you a little bit about our programs and then I will tell you how you can help. Our programs, like I said, prenatal diagnosis through adult. We help parents that have a new diagnosis, whether it's a birth diagnosis or a prenatal diagnosis. We provide them with welcome materials, updated information about outcomes, potential outcomes for their children. Often we are given inaccurate, outdated information by medical professionals, unfortunately. So we welcome them to the fold and we give them updated information, congratulate them on their little jackpot. And then once their baby is born, we have speech and language-based programming starting at age 0. And then we have programs progressing through the ages all the way through adult. Our friend Steven, who's on this webinar today, participates in our Fantastic Friends program, which is my personal favorite that we offer at Gigi's Playhouse Sacramento. Spending time with adult individuals with Down syndrome is really just the most amazing thing that I've ever done in my life. It's just amazing. If you ever have time to volunteer at a Gigi's near you, like I said, we've got 58 of them across the US and Mexico. If you have one nearby, I highly recommend checking it out, and if you have some time to volunteer. And if you don't, you can make a donation to help us keep running. A $21 donation will help us with office supplies, cleaning supplies. A $50 donation will provide new parent information packets. A $100 donation will provide materials for one of our students in one of our one-to-one literacy or math tutoring programs for one session. A $250 donation will provide the materials that we need for our fitness program, and so on. It goes on from there. Anything that you're able to donate goes directly into the running of our programs. Donations can be made at gigisplayhouse.org/Sacramento. And we thank you so much for anything that you can do. Please come see us. You will leave with a smile anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nicole. If you are tuning in from outside of Sacramento, you can visit gigisplayhouse.org/locations to find a Down Syndrome Achievement Center near you. Next, we are excited to bring in Diana Ferreira, an organ recovery coordinator here at Sierra Donor Services, and her lovely brother, Stephen Kellett, who is a transplant recipient. Hi, Diana and Stephen. How are you?
Doing well. How are you, Stephen?
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
He's in a silly mood.
Are you snorting? That's awesome. I love your Hawaiian shirt today. It's summertime and you're looking the part. I love it.
He's very stylish. He's always concerned with his outfit and his style every day.
I love it. Don't embarrass him, big sis.
Getting embarrassed. So thank you so much for having us here. I am Stephen's older sister. I'm the oldest of 4 children. I have 2 brothers in the middle, and then Stephen is our youngest.
Oh, cool.
Yep, he was born in 1994, and it was the 90s. I was 12 years old. The Lion King came out that year, the original, of course.
I know all about that. Yeah.
And Stephen was born and immediately diagnosed as having a heart condition at that time. He had transposition of the great vessels and a ventricular septal defect. But his heart was about the size of a walnut at birth.
Oh, goodness.
And so my parents, and I do have a good memory of this because this was, a huge event in our lives. We were also worried about our new baby brother. My parents had sort of the difficult job of taking him home and then waiting for him to progress to congestive heart failure because he was so small. Any growth that would occur would help with the outcome of a procedure. So at about 8 months old, he started showing signs of congestive heart failure. He was brought to Lucile Salter Packard Children's Hospital at Stanford and had a procedure. It was about an 8-hour procedure, and he received a donor valve and donor tissue to repair his heart. His recovery was very smooth. He's just always been the most easygoing, happiest guy. He's a tough guy too. He's been through a lot. He has a huge zipper scar to prove it. But he had originally, if he did not grow, he would have had to have had a surgery to give him a 2-chamber heart. And that's him. And he was the cutest little baby. That's you.
Aww.
Yeah, we were looking at that last night. It was around Christmas time, so we had his little Christmas outfit.
I love it. And a Pink Panther. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, a Pink Panther. That's a nurse giving him his oral meds in the bottom photo. And that was a Snoopy doll that you really liked at the time.
That's so cool. Any chance did you ever get to find out who your donor was, or who your brother's donor was?
No, we did not. And he's 29 now. And due to the nature of tissue being banked, it's a lot harder to sort of track down the donor anyhow. Of course, I was 12 when he had his first surgery, and I did know he had a donor valve. And my family, we all have known and have been grateful He's had 2 donor valves actually, but in my work as an organ recovery coordinator, I connected it to the incredibly difficult decision that families make to donate when it is a neonate, because it would have been a neonate donor.
Meaning a baby.
I
Right.
had talked to the manager of our tissue side about that, just to confirm, and it was most definitely a neonate donor. And so that family making that decision to donate saved his life.
Yeah.
And so the connection that I have is so much deeper now that I've been in these situations and seen these families making these choices to save other lives, despite going through their own incredible tragedy. So it is, we could not be more grateful, and I know Stephen has a deep understanding of that as well. And we're grateful every day. If he would have had to have the 2-chamber heart surgery, he would have had very limited activity,
Wow.
and low energy. And with the procedure that they did, it's called the Rostelli procedure, named after the incredible surgeon who invented it. He has a 4-chamber heart and he has no limitations.
Awesome.
Every year, his cardiologist had to, check boxes off on a paper about what he can and can't do. And he's always been cleared for everything, even football.
Do you play football, Stephen?
Do you play football? When the opportunity arises. But he has also never been on any cardiac meds.
That's amazing. That in itself is amazing. So when you're a tissue recipient, does he take anti-rejection medicine?
He has not.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. And
so I hear that you guys are big fans of Gigi's Playhouse.
Yes.
Can you guys tell me about Gigi's Playhouse and what difference it's made in your life, Stephen?
How do you like Gigi's Playhouse? He loves it. So one of the things, and Stephen's doing a great job at speaking a lot more. So I'll kind of start with 2020. I heard that Gigi's Playhouse was coming to our area. Then, of course, we all know what happened in February and March of 2020, and sort of how that progressed. I was watching the progress of the Gigi's Playhouse being built, and we attended the opening day. Everyone was still in masks, and from the moment we attended, the warmth and the welcoming nature of the Gigi's Playhouse community, all of the board members who made it happen, and have just made it a real sense of community. And I remember my mom taking a class on Down syndrome and what to expect, and she had the exact same experience as the founder of Gigi's Playhouse, where she took a class in a dingy basement of a hospital with strange black and white drawings of what a Down syndrome person looks like or what they will look like. It only focused on the limitations and the and hey, bud, can you stop yawning, please? We're on TV. And the founder of Gigi's Playhouse has had that exact same experience, and she decided to make a change. She started Gigi's Playhouse, and it is volunteer-run, donation-based, incredible. Stephen has had speech difficulties, and he has always been in speech therapy since he was very young in school. And at about the age of 22, you stop receiving assistance with that. So it is incredibly expensive. It is a cost, and we had been looking into it privately and many things just to help him, with goals of getting a job one day, potentially living in a group home type situation, or being more independent and just kind of focusing on his independence. And Gigi's has, through Sutter Health, provided him speech therapy. He's been going for about a year, and it is no cost. And he goes once a week, which of course would be out of pocket incredibly expensive.
Right.
and he goes once a week, and the progress has just been incredible. He recently made his own order at Chipotle.
Oh, cool.
Everyone knows. I mean, that's intimidating, kind of regardless of
Uh-huh.
everything. But what's your Chipotle order, Steven? Oh, he wants to get his Chipotle card out. You could just
Oh, yeah. You want to get it out?
Burrito.
burrito.
Yum.
Orders.
Making me hungry, man.
And that is for us the biggest milestone, because you do it all by yourself, because speech therapists have given him the confidence and the training. Salsa,
Yeah.
Guacamole.
guacamole. And so Gigi's Playhouse has provided that for him as well. And once he started attending Gigi's regularly, he got his spark back. He got a sense of community, a sense of purpose. I remember, him marching up to a friend of mine and saying, Gigi's Playhouse, I have a Halloween job, because he had sold popcorn at their Halloween event.
Oh, cool.
And just the pride on his face and the sense of, just the sense of community that we both feel. We always want to hang out there. It really is like a clubhouse. There's an incredible kitchen, living room, and almost every time you're at Gigi's, it ends in a dance party.
We have a picture of Steven looking like he's at a fancy dance. Look at you.
So who's that?
Charlotte.
So that's Charlotte. So Charlotte and Steven, that is Charlotte's girlfriend.
Oh.
And they met at Gigi's Playhouse. So that is yet another thing that, thanks to his donor and his donor family, at the age of 29, he's attending a special needs prom with his girlfriend.
That's awesome.
To have a very full life, watch all the superhero movies, go to Disneyland for 13 hours.
Yeah, and he's also one of our Donate Life ambassadors, helping us spread the word about organ donation. He was at a soccer game with us.
Yeah, remember
wearing his superhero Sierra Donor Services cape.
Yeah. And he loves it. He has a very deep understanding that many people have helped his heart to be fixed, right?
Aww.
And he always wants to say thank you for helping. And he told me last time he had a valve replacement again at 9 years old and at 26. And he just goes, they fixed my heart. They helped me. Right, Steven? And he knows a lot of people help him. And he's just so happy to be here. And we love him so much. We always say he's really the center of our family. And he makes everything better. He makes Christmas better. His birthday is, how important is your birthday every year? It's incredibly important. And he just keeps us all kind of with a youthful spirit, because he has that and brings us a lot of joy. So we're so grateful.
That's so awesome. All right, folks, if meeting Steven has inspired you, we hope that you do two things. One, go to Gigi's Playhouse's website and make a donation so that other people with Down syndrome can also enjoy dance parties and social opportunities. And the second thing is to check yes when you're at the DMV to organ and tissue donation, or you can go right to sierradonor.org right now and register from there. Or you can go to bethegifttoday.com if you're outside of California or Nevada. I just want to thank you again for joining us. We hope to see you guys at our Donor Dash in October. It's a mandatory superhero costume event, Steven. So I think you have to be there.
You have a job. Okay. He knows he has a job. He loves to have jobs. So
I love it.
Do you love your jobs?
Yep.
Okay. Well, have a good one, Steven.
Thank
and
you
Diana.
so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Last but certainly not least, we have Janine Lewis, another one of my colleagues, here to offer some insight as a tissue recovery coordinator. Hi, Janine.
Hi, Kyla. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
We're so excited to share your side of the story. Can you tell us about what it is you do at Sierra Donor Services?
Okay, so as a tissue recovery coordinator, I work on the side of the house that deals with the tissue donation of deceased donors. Every donor has the potential to be not just an organ donor, but also a tissue donor. And that's everything from corneas, tendons, valves, veins, skin, and bones.
And I know that we talk about how, this particular graphic says tissue donors restore health, but in some cases it is life-saving, like those heart valves.
Absolutely. Heart valves are an absolute thing that we need to survive. And when we recover a heart for valves, that goes to someone who has a valve insufficiency or a valve failure that is literally life-threatening. And restoring health, even that's rather subjective. For someone who's got new corneas, they've got sight now where they didn't have sight before. That's a huge impact on life. And so the tissue side of the house, we really do impact lives in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely. We recently had a case involving a pediatric donor with a disability. What was it like to be a part of that recovery team?
Our pediatric donors definitely are ones that tug at the heartstrings. However, I always find comfort in knowing that this donor, someone else's child is going to live because of the graciousness and the willingness of this family, even in their moment of grief, to ensure that someone else's child will survive. It's always a very special time for us, and we go to great lengths to make sure that we absolutely honor the gift, absolutely honor the donor and the family. My partner Layla and I, we went and we were so honored to be part of this process and to recognize the gift that was given.
I think a lot of times we hear about organ transplants and that side of things being life-saving. Me being a kidney transplant recipient, I'm profoundly thankful for all donors. But to find out that so many lives are saved through heart valve donations, I really want to stress that people should check yes to all of this.
Yes.
If you want to save a life, check yes for tissue and organ and cornea if you can.
Absolutely. It just makes a difference. People, I think we don't really think about it when our favorite football player needs a new ACL.
Right.
That's where it comes from. That
Exactly.
is where it comes from. And it impacts lives in so many different ways. And it's just a gift that keeps on giving. Skin donation for everything from burn victims to septic patients. It literally will save a life. Your skin is your biggest organ in your body, and it regulates your temperature. It does so many things. And when you don't have skin, that's life-threatening. That is life-threatening.
And sometimes burn victims can experience like a septic infection that could lead to death. Yes. So having that transplanted skin can actually prevent, a severe infection on that level. So again, it's not just life improving, it can be life saving at times.
Life saving, absolutely. And the odds are most people may not get the opportunity to be an organ donor, but most people can absolutely be a tissue donor.
Janine, that is a huge fact that I want to make sure people know about. Yes. Since sometimes when people are registering, they'll just say yes to organ donation, but not tissue because I don't know what the apprehension is, if they're concerned that maybe
it's just misunderstanding, myth busting.
Right.
That's what we do. We're myth busting, and it's just not really understanding and what it is that we do. But or they think of themselves and like, oh, I know I can't be a kidney donor, I can't be this. That's okay. You can still help someone's life, save someone's life.
I want to talk about how our organization is open 24/7, 365. You and your team sometimes work on weekends, holidays,
Absolutely.
Whatever it takes to save lives.
Yes, we don't ever close. As I always tell new people who are coming in, people die at all hours of the day, and we
Right.
have to be ready for it. And so, yeah, we work long hours, but we love what we do. We can be in the middle of the night. We're traversing the mountains to get over into Nevada during the winter, which is not always fun. But we absolutely do what we do because we know that what we're doing is serving a purpose, and it's making lives better.
Absolutely. So I want to circle back to our pediatric donor. I want to talk about how she was at Sutter Hospital,
Yes.
and Sutter and many of our hospital partners here in the Sacramento region and throughout the country, including Nashville and Albuquerque, do what's called an honor walk.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I've been able to be a part of a couple of them, and it's a very emotional time. It's the transition of the donor from their ICU room to the operating room, and the staff line the hallways. Basically, everything is paused as we literally honor the gift, we honor the family, and the family just walks behind or next to the bed, and it's very, very emotional. It's very heart wrenching because this is literally the last time they will see their loved one. And this is their opportunity to say goodbye. And it's an opportunity for the staff to say thank you and to honor that gift that they're being given. And yes, it's very moving. It's very, very moving. And we've always had, just no matter what time of day or night. And a lot of times these recoveries take place in the middle of the night. But the staff stops what they're doing and they line the hallways every single
That's
time. There's
amazing.
never been a time where we didn't have anybody there for the honor walk. They're always there because they,
Right.
they appreciate and want to support and show love to the family as well. And a lot of them they've been, in the hospital they've been working with the patient. And so this is their way of saying goodbye as well.
Well, before we go to the clip, I just want to thank you, Janine, for the amazing work that you do to save lives. I mean, as a transplant recipient, I have a profound gratitude for everyone who works in our office and everyone from our partners at hospitals to connect, the gift of life to others.
Yeah.
So I just
and
think
that's what we are. We're all partners together.
Okay, I believe we have that clip. So get your tissue box ready because it is a sad one.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I'll bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. I hope you're dancing in the sky.
Wow. Well, we just wanted to wrap up and say thank you for joining us, and hope that this video has inspired you to say yes to organ donation. On behalf of Sierra Donor Services and DCI Donor Services, we'd like to thank our guests, Nicole Harrigan of Gigi's Playhouse, my colleagues Janine Lewis and Diana Ferreira of Sierra Donor Services, and Diana's brother, Stephen Kellett. Please register now at sierradonor.org.